Everybody has a story, but not everybody tells the truth about it. This is the Untold Truth, a space where we talk about the things people avoid: trauma, pressure, pain, healing, and growth. The real conversations behind the highlight reels. Because healing doesn't start with pretending, it starts with honesty. And when you're ready to speak, your truth deserves to be heard. Welcome back to the Untold Truth. I'm your host, Joshua Brinkley, and today I have Tim Jones. The Untold Truth is about really focusing on bettering yourself, encouraging others, and becoming a better person overall. So what we're going to do today is we're going to get into a couple different questions with Tim Jones, straight out of Henrico High School. All right. First things first, I'm going to drop this bio just to let everybody know who Tim is, where he come from.
Hold on. Not to cut you off.
Yeah.
First thing is first.
What's that?
I appreciate you for letting me come in and be on the Untold Truth.
Oh,
It's greatly appreciated by the kindness of my heart, because so it's a once in a lifetime opportunity for sure. Because most people don't ask me to be on their podcasts or just to hear my voice, but I want to appreciate you and thank you.
Yeah, per doubt, bro. No doubt, bro. That's love. That's love. Timothy Jones is a Richmond, Virginia native and a former Division III college basketball guard who represents the next generation of disciplined, high-character athletes. A product of Henrico County, Timothy developed his game through hard work, consistency, and leadership, earning recognition not just from his skill, but for his basketball IQ and team-first mentality. During his collegiate career at Virginia Wesleyan University, Timothy emerged as a reliable two-way contributor, averaging 11.6 points, 4.2 assists, and 3.6 rebounds, and 1.2 steals per game. His ability to score, facilitate offense, defend at a high level, and create opportunities for his teammates made him a valuable asset with the Marlins system. Timothy chose Virginia Wesleyan as his top collegiate destination, valuing the school's strong academic reputation and competitive men's basketball program over notable offers including Christopher Newport University, Randolph-Macon College, Longwood University, and Virginia State University. His decision reflected a commitment not only to athletic excellence, but also personal development and long-term success. Recently, he was inducted into the Henrico High School Hall of Fame for basketball, known for his work ethic, composure under pressure, and leadership on and off the court. Timothy continues to push himself towards the next level, using basketball as a platform for growth, discipline, and impact. Welcome, Tim.
Thank you, Josh.
Yes, sir. Thanks for coming. Tim is a guy that I have known for quite some time now. We played on the ABA team together. How old are you? 31.
True fact.
Yeah.
I used to go to Josh's games, but I was in the 6th grade. My dad used to take me to all Josh's games and watch him play. I used to watch Josh dunk on everybody in the court. Everybody. Made me want to go out there and just start dunking.
For sure. You always tell me that. For me, that lets me know that there was somebody out there watching that I was able to encourage the next person. So that's what this podcast is about, encouraging the next person. Even though we didn't play the same position, us being undersized at our positions, you got to have that little extra oomph, right? And so I appreciate that feedback, bro. That's the love.
Always.
Yes, sir. So I'm going to jump into these questions. Segment 1, the Richmond roots. We're going to talk about where you come from, the experience you had growing up. So tell me about your background. How was it growing up in Richmond / Henrico, Virginia?
Growing up in Richmond was fun. It was easy, it's fun. Just being hardworking. It's just everybody around in Richmond is fun and loving and caring. So once you show that, everything else falls into line.
How has the city shaped you mentally as a player and as a man?
Growing up in Richmond gave me that grit. It gave me that grit, gave me that hunger to just always be humble. Because, like I said, growing up in Richmond is hard. It's like a diamond in the rough. So, if you know, you know. And it's hard to make it out of Richmond. No, it is. It's a lot of distraction, a lot of things that can get in your way, but you just have to stay focused and stay positive at all times.
And I could agree with that. I grew up in the western part of Henrico. Back in the day, people don't understand this. Back in the day, the Tri-Cities was Richmond. Talking about Chesterfield, Henrico, all that was considered Richmond too. They just broke this up probably about 10 to 15 years ago. They broke it up to the point where, it's a whole bunch of different counties now and stuff like that. But talk specifically about the where you're from, like not just Richmond.
Henrico.
Yeah.
Henrico County, Henrico, Virginia.
Yeah.
Um,
But you grew up in the East End, or
yeah, right around the corner. It was 5 miles from, not even 5 miles, 2 blocks from quote unquote Richmond City. So the Richmond Henrico rivalry was always there, but got the best of that.
yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. All right. What was basketball culture like in Henrico when you were growing up? What was that culture like?
A family, man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We went everywhere together. When you saw Henrico, you knew green and gold everywhere. We bleed green and gold. We did everything together.
Yeah.
I don't care how old you were, what grade you were in. If you wore Henrico on your jersey, you wore a warrior on your back.
Yeah. Yeah. And what does the word warrior mean as being a Henrico player, basketball player?
Day by day to see a better day.
Yeah.
As long as you got your brother next to you, so just stay on course and do what they're supposed to do. No one can let each other down.
Who introduced you to the game of basketball and who pushed you on at an early age?
My pa,
About
Big Tim. Okay, yeah. To be honest, football is my favorite sport. My first love, football. I loved it to death. I started playing basketball because my friends were playing, but I also wanted to play. But when I got older, I started to realize I had to pick one sport because Henrico was so bad at football.
yeah.
They didn't want a game this year, but hopefully they get better. But they were so bad at football that I knew I had to pick a sport because when you're a basketball athlete, you got workouts, you got training, a lot of extra time. So when football season was in, I couldn't do football workouts.
Right.
I had to pick one.
Mm-hmm.
So just being at Henrico and just being around all my teammates, it just solidified being a warrior, like I said.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that kind of reminds me of how I grew up, as far as having to make a choice between sports because, my first love was football. I talk about that in the first season of the autobiography of myself. And I talk about how even though football was my first love, I did have to eventually not just make a decision, but what stayed with me was basketball more than football for whatever reason that was. Maybe it was the people who was around. Maybe it was just the fact that when I dunked on you, it was that feeling of I'm a bigger man than you. I don't know what it was, but I eventually chose to play basketball over football too. What challenges did you face growing up that helped build your toughness?
I don't feel like it was a challenge. Excuse me, no, but sipping it. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, look, I'm not judging. We doing the damn thing.
No, I don't feel like it was a challenge, but it was just the only thing in the way to stay humble, because most people perceive you as, oh, he thinks he's this, he thinks he's that. Nah, man, I'm the most hardest worker ever. I'm humble and I'm hungry.
Yeah.
But good.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say it was a challenge, but that was the only
It was the blind feeling that blind challenge, right? Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's always that fine line. I actually like talking about this topic because it's always that fine line of being humble and then, being confident slash being a little too cocky, right?
right.
And some people have addressed that with me, and I've had to tell them no, I'm not doing this to try to be better than you.
Right.
I'm here because I'm here, and I'm gonna let you know.
Yeah, that's like watching LeBron play, and then you go dunk on somebody. You doing it because you saw LeBron do it.
Yeah, right.
I'm not doing this to show off. Doing this because I seen someone do it. I watched you dunk the basketball multiple times. So I'm gonna try to touch the ceiling if I have to.
Right, exactly. No, yeah, exactly. So it's just I like talking about this topic, but For me, it's more so, it's not about me showboating. It's not about me trying to make somebody feel less than. No, this just me being me.
Right.
And it's okay to be that way, you know. But also at the same time, be humble, because without God, He gave me the strength to be able to do this.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So
Amen, dog. For real.
jumping into high school recruitment.
Yeah.
All right. What was your recruitment process like coming out of high school?
Sheesh. It's the untold truth, right?
It's the untold truth. Tell the truth. Tell her what it was.
All right. So in high school, I started off in ninth grade, played varsity as a freshman, started as a freshman. I was getting a lot of looks, a lot of different schools from all over. I wouldn't say my problem was I was an average student, and I should have been a great student. I didn't apply myself like I was supposed to do,
Mm-hmm.
which was the extra studying and the extra time off the court in the classroom. I had to take the SATs, and that was a struggle. It was a struggle for me to get the score down and get to qualify to get in the clearinghouse.
Okay. So, what type of GPA did you need? You talking about to get to the next level?
Yeah, my GPA was like a 2.8.
Mhm.
It was like a 2.8. I forgot the exact number score that you had to get for the SAT, but I took it one time. The first time I took it, I didn't get the right score. I didn't get the score I needed. So the second time I took it, I cheated in that motherfucker.
Yeah, we talked about this. We was at the gym earlier. We talked about this a little bit earlier. But
I cheated on the SAT, on my SAT. I cheated on it. I wanted to go to college that bad. I cheated on the test. So I cheated. And they flagged my scores because the range was a big difference. They saw the gap.
yeah, from the first time you took it to the second time.
Yes. So they flagged my shit. They flagged it. And they made me take my SATs again in a room by myself. Just me in the room. Take my test by myself. I ended up getting the scores I needed. But in the midst of time, weeks had went past. And as the weeks went past, the recruitment process, as you know, it moves.
Yeah. They not waiting for nobody.
Being a 5'9" guard, 150 pounds, so in which
You have a slim chance.
a slim chance to none to make it anywhere.
Correct.
So finally get the scores I needed. I get on the phone, boo, 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 boo. Coach Jason G from Longwood University. Tim, I remember, you know what I'm saying? I got my scores, coach. You told me to get my scores. I got them. Mind you, the coach from Florida State told me the same exact thing. He's like, Tim, when you get to school on Monday, we had just played Kennedy Meeks. Played Kennedy Meeks AAU team. After the game, the Florida State coach walked up to me, shook my name, said, send me your scores when you get back to Richmond.
Mm-hmm.
When he told me that, it motivated me to get my scores. This was before the Longwood situation. This was before I actually got the score I needed. But I still didn't get my scores yet. Now the Florida State is getting higher now. They're not gonna wait. They're not waiting until they on to the next. Get the score I needed. Jason G on the phone. I want you to red shirt. I'm like, coach, you want me to red shirt? Red shirt? I just came on a recruiting visit and you got me doing drills. I got a bloody nose on my recruiting visit. I'm going so hard with the couple of alcohol blowers, diving on the floor, going crazy. I'm like, nah, I can't redshirt, coach. So I get another call from a junior college, Colorado. Get that call. After that, I committed. I decommitted from Longwood, went to Colorado. My life changed after that.
Okay. And then where did you go from? First of all, what did you do in Colorado?
I met up with a group of guys that were the greatest ever. I played a couple games, a couple scrimmages. This is straight out of high school. I played a couple scrimmages. I never got to play an actual real. No, I take that back. I played like maybe 2 or 3 games, a couple. I don't remember. I had a tragic accident. I punched the glass. I hit a glass on accident. Didn't punch it. I hit a glass on accident, and I cut my wrist in my hand. If you could see it, I was 2 inches away from the main artery in my wrist. 2 inches away. hallway full of blood everywhere. Like I said, I almost lost my life. But I walk out the hospital. Just thank God. Stuff. I got an opportunity to even play basketball again. The doctors told me I would never play basketball again. Most people don't even know that part about my.
I never even do that. That was your left hand or your right hand?
Right hand. My shoe. I didn't shoot that. My shoe that. And this was, like I said, the first year out of high school. So after I left Trinidad State, I didn't play my whole freshman year of high school. I didn't play college. I didn't play at Trinidad State because of my tragic incident. After that, the only coach that recruited, not the only coach, the first coach to ever recruit me when I was in the 8th grade, maybe. He would call me and talk to me every day at JUCO, and I would tell him how, like, I just wanted to get back home to get in the winning tradition. And he was like, Timmy, come on now. I walk in the gym, all I see is banners, championships.
Where's this at?
Virginia Wesleyan University.
Virginia Wesleyan.
Coach Dave Macedo, one of the greatest Division III coaches ever. He probably has the most wins in Virginia, I think, from college coaches. Okay. But he gave me a second chance at life, at opportunity, just to play the sport of basketball again. I could further my education, everything. He gave me a chance because I thought everything, like I said, the doctor told me that I wouldn't play basketball again. And when hearing that from a doctor,
yeah, no,
it's like, man.
That's one reason I don't go to the doctor like that. You know, I know my body. You know, I think I always say, obviously the doctors are good for what they're good for, but for me, I always, by saying this, the gym, my doctor. You know, that keep the doctor away. They're preventative measures. But the two things that resonated with me, we was talking about this earlier in the sign. The two things that resonated with me was the fact that we both made a dumb decision to punch some glass, and we both had to get stitches. Obviously, yours sounded a lot worse than mine was, but it was a lot of blood with mine too. And what was the other thing? I forget what the other thing was. The fact that we both had to retake our SATs. I had to do the same in order to get to Delaware. Yeah. So because the SATs, my first SAT I took. Now, I didn't cheat, though. This is all my effort. You know, I took some extra brain power, you know, but the third time I didn't cheat. But the third time it's kind of cool to hear your story because, you know, everybody has a story, but when certain things align, it's like, and then for us to kind of align later on in life, it's kind of cool, too. Yeah. You had interest from CNU, Randolph, Macon, Longwood. You kind of already talked about this at Virginia State. What made that decision tough, or what made you go to Virginia Wesleyan?
Actually, I left the school out. I was gonna go to Virginia Union. Oh yeah, I honestly was gonna go to Virginia Union. But I told Luke mine, he can ask him. I told him I'm not coming unless Jordan and Marvin come with me. And Jordan and Marvin were like, do like this together.
Yeah.
And they don't even know this conversation. I told Luke, my man, I said, I'm not coming here. First of all, the locker rooms look like some shit. If you know Barco's, if you know that gym, it's hot.
It's hot.
Too close to Richmond.
Uh-huh.
You gotta come with some firepower. Yep. And my firepower was Jordan and Marvin. And I said, I'm not coming if they don't come.
Yeah. Shout out to Big Ben.
And Luke Mine had left the next year. Yeah. He had left the next year.
Yeah.
And I kind of knew he was going to leave because they were having a shaky year. So it kind of like played a factor on my decision on which school I even to. Yeah. But Virginia Wesleyan was my top choice because of, like I said, I wanted to go to Union because it was in Richmond.
Yeah.
But Wesleyan was my choice because that coach called me every single day.
Yeah.
He called me every day when I was in Colorado.
Okay. That go a long way. That go a long way. That sounds to me like, anybody that stays in contact like that means they actually want you. Yeah. You feel me? You know, it's always good when someone, it feels good when someone that, you know, makes you feel good, like appreciate it or whatever. But hearing you speak again, talking about these different schools, there's a third thing that I'm thinking about as far as our story being the same, and that's I decommitted from Delaware too. I lied to you not, dub. And I decommitted. I decommitted from Delaware. I committed, decommitted, and then committed back to Delaware.
What made you do that?
Because I didn't know. First of all, the coaches there were doing what your coach was. They was reaching out to me. Yeah, well, they was reaching out to me, and it was like, "Josh, like, come here, come here, come here," and then getting letters, like personal messages type shit. They was calling every week, and the next thing I know, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna commit there, and then I committed, and I was like, damn, I ain't taking up visits, you know. So then I think I decommitted. I want to say I decommitted. I took a visit up to Quinnipiac, which is in mid-major up there in Connecticut.
Yeah.
And I went to Hamden University. Had a great time down there. And then I was like, you know what? That was a great decision. And then the best academic school was Delaware, top 100 academic back in 2009. So that's the reason why I ended up going back there. And it was a good decision, you know. But at the same time, I understood that, you know, I didn't
But
where I wanted to go.
Could you have went to the when you was in high school? Was the rule? What was the rule about going to college? Did you have to go to college
What you mean?
to go to the league? Did you have to go to college when you were in high school?
Oh, yeah. It was in place by then. The last year that was, I want to say, was 2003 when LeBron got drafted. I think that was the last year they did that, or maybe the year after. I had to don't quote me on that, but I might have to Google that. But I believe that's what that was. 2003 was the last year they did that.
What's crazy?
I know her. But I tell them I ain't that old. Crazy, bro. That is big. Yeah. But that's more so right. Else the ring. That was like you average 11.6, 4.2 assists, 3.6 rebounds, which is kind of dope for you. You know, that means you have that with 8 threes.
They jipped me on the points.
Did that?
Me on the points.
Oh yeah?
It was like what team?
Well, it was 14? Okay. All right, well, we'll go with 14.
That's cool. I don't care about the points. They made the look. I played in the Final Four. The other people can't say they made it to the Sweet 16.
The facts. That's facts.
At any level.
I didn't know that. You got more experience at college than me. What's going on there? Well, you all right. We go stay live there. Because well, what part of your game improved the most to reach these numbers that I just talked about?
Just controlling the pace of the game.
Yep.
I'm a big fan of Tyrese Rice, and he believes in pace on any level. And when you have that quality of delivery on any level, and you're able to just pull up at any time and control the pace of the game, like it's an unbelievable like trait to have. Just controlling the pace.
Mhm.
At anything you do, just control the pace. And I learned that from Tyrese Rice, one of the greatest, like probably my top favorite point guard other than Allen Iverson, that come out of Virginia.
For sure, 100%. Tyrese Rice was that guy. He still is that guy for sure. For real.
Yeah.
So is Iverson. I would agree with that, and we're gonna get into that segment of talking about, you know, your career after college, because maybe you play with the ABA together. And we'll get into that. But being the smaller player, this is something that I added to the list of questions. Right, I inserted this personally because we share this I guess you want to call it a deficiency, but in reality, to me, this is other people may see it as a deficiency on the basketball court, but I see it as an advantage. Being a smaller player on the court,
Mhm.
what helped you overcome being undersized at the guard position?
Man, my pops would always tell me, "You 5'9", you 5'5", 180 pounds. What you gonna do to separate yourself from everybody else? You're not 6'9", 250. What are you gonna do to separate yourself?" So you know what I did? Every single day, I ran up and down Azalea Avenue. I went on my back porch. I did push-ups, sit-ups every day. I got my journal, and I wrote down everything that I did every single day. So I could never cheat myself, and I could never cheat my pops.
See, a lot of people don't have that in them. You know, some people, that's what separates you from the next person. Because to say that you were doing that type, people just started learning how to do that in their 30s. You feel me? So to start doing that at 6 years old, now, did your dad encourage you to do that, or is it something you did?
No, he encouraged me.
Oh, yeah, you motivated me. Okay, okay. Well, yeah,
But it was something I wanted to do.
wanted to see it. Yeah, you felt let do with it.
Yeah, it was nothing I didn't want to do.
Yeah, like, yeah.
The running part was all me. Like he used to make me, not make me, but tell me to do my push-ups, do my sit-ups every night. That's mandatory. Every morning to make sure you're doing them. But going outside doing it, like that was me. That was, well, I'm gonna go run now.
Right.
I would try to get everything in, so I'm always in shape.
Yeah. But it sounds to me like you just followed through with whatever he was telling you to do. You just gotta took what he's told you and followed through. Great pots. Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. We need people like that in our lives. Uh, some people,
Sometimes it's hard though. Not hard. Cause growing up, I was always not always the coach's son, but my dad coached me the hardest, bro. I think he had to set an example so that when he got on other kids and made them better as well, it wouldn't look crazy.
it wouldn't look crazy. Yeah, yeah.
He got on me the hardest, bro.
Yeah. As hard as dog. I mean, yeah.
And most people don't get that, bro. Like, when I used to step on the court, bro, I ain't mad at you. I ain't nothing. I'm just going to kill, though.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't know why.
Yeah.
But I could tell you why.
I understand that concept. When I hop, well, we in between these lines. You mine. Say that's what it is. You know, I don't care about your mama. I don't care about your dad. I don't care about none of that. You know, it's me and you. You know, and the last man standing gonna be me. Yeah. So that's just what it is. What was your toughest game mentally during the season? Any of the seasons that you played?
I don't think I ever had a toughest game.
Like toughest mentally, like what? Never had a tough mental game. Yeah.
Basketball is not tough, man.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Yeah. Others would say it differently though, because you're speaking from a experienced mind.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun.
You never had any type of mental health, or not mental health, but any type of mental challenge in the game.
In the game? No.
Well, not even that time where I pulled up on your ass and said, "This yo catch me the fucking butt."
No, no, because that's what you're supposed to do. As a big man, run about the ball.
Yeah, yeah.
You go get the ball.
Right. Okay. All right.
Basketball too fun to challenge you mentally.
I got you. I mean, the only reason why I ask this question is because you play point guard, right? Sometimes for Richmond Elite, you will play shooting guard, but for the most part, you play point guard. And at the point guard position, you're like what I would like to call like a instructor. Like you're the person out there managing the shit,
Yeah.
right? So you never had any issue with like engaging into like or like seeing the defense and saying, "Oh, this the play we gonna run."
No, because I've always been surrounded with great coaches.
Yeah.
Like, I've never had a bad coach.
Okay.
So if long as me and coach on the same page, nothing can go off.
Yeah. Now, what if the coach is not on the same page with you? Let's talk about Reggie.
Who is the point guard? Reggie is my dog. Bro, this is my dog for life, bro. Reggie was one of my favorite coaches. Bro.
Oh, was he? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Reggie, Coach E, all the coaches for Richmond League, bro.
can't agree with you on that. Reggie was the best one though, from my perspective.
Reggie,
That's because me and Rock was talking about this the other day, and he brought that perspective of how the NBA runs offense. You know.
yeah, bro. Reggie had everybody on a good regiment.
Yep.
We was going to the gym, getting there early,
Yep.
working out before the game.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, we gonna get to that segment because that's the segment that I kind of want to talk about because you know, big man point guard, right?
Yes, bro.
That shit can go either way as far as a relationship.
Right, it's great playing with a big man that just run the court and can catch the ball.
Is that where you was at with it? Yeah.
Yes, bro.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that sounds like you play with some trash big men there. No, you was
I never. I never actually had a big man. All my big men were guards.
Oh, I got you.
Like, they were guards at heart. All of them.
I never had him in college.
Yeah.
But
Kalen Poe. Kalen Poe was a big man, was probably one of the best big men in the country, the most athletic. He was a guard body. KP was like, he went to Kickinton. Crazy story. He played Kickinton in high school. We were down by 8 with 1:30 left. We came back winning game. But KP was the big man for Kickinton. That's how I met KP.
okay.
That's my guy forever. But he was a guard, low key. He was like 6'4", 6'5". He was skinny. He was a guard. He wasn't a big man. But he battled in the trenches.
Yeah. He was.
That's what made him big.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I mean, I know I just asked you about being smaller, but like I remember times when we played together, you down there rebounding with the big man.
I like to jump. I used to jump and touch the wall.
Yeah. So that's all that was. You just
I
laughed.
always got my big man back, bro.
Yeah. I mean that people don't understand this concept. We need the guards to don't down too. You know, I'm cool with rebounding, but you know if I'm boxing out 2 people, that's smart. Yeah. When you were playing, how do you prepare for games? When the pressure was really high.
Before each game, my mom always made me do 10 push-ups and say a prayer. That's how I relieved all of it.
Yeah. 10 push-ups and a prayer. That's all you needed.
Before I run out that tunnel, I do my 10 push-ups. I say my prayer in the back, and I spread out. Once I say that prayer and I do my 10 push-ups,
You jump.
I'm straight.
So your mom what did she start making you do that?
High school. She used to always tell me, they go 10 before the game.
Yeah. So you didn't have these type of songs you listen to or anything?
All music.
Oh,
You just listen to the back of the ass up.
say it.
Shooting it out. All that, bro. Jay-Z. Bro, I used to listen to everything, bro. I love music. Music is like one of the best things like ever.
Yeah, especially in we on the way here we were talking about the warm ups. I mean that was my time to get to be prepared. You know, I'm in the line doing LeBron in that joint. You know, head at the rim, especially in high school.
They use Nike.
Yeah, but yeah, that was the time I would get ready. But saying the prayer though, that's one thing that resonated with me because I say a prayer before I work out, still to this day, before I do anything really. Switching gears here, I know we talked a little bit about some mental toughness, but as an athlete,
Yeah.
what does mental toughness mean?
It's being physically, mentally, emotionally prepared for anything that comes your way. Anything. So you got to be able to handle it up here. So sometimes that means being silent to an issue. All of that.
Yeah.
To being able just to stay focused and controlling the pace.
Yeah.
As a point guard, once you control the pace, nothing else matters. So that shot clock get down to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna shoot it, or you gonna be in the post and give me the ball.
But you know I'll smile.
Or in the college, you know, bro.
And that's the first thing that came to my mind. My man Tim had a game winner in Cali. We went over to Cali. What year was that? 2019. Yeah, 2019. Went over to Cali, smacked everybody. How important is routine and discipline?
Proper preparation prevents poor performance. 5 P's. As long as you prepare the right way, you'll be mentally tough because you will prepare.
Mm-hmm.
Most people don't prepare. That's what that performance is for.
Almost like trying to prepare for the SAT.
Yeah, I didn't prepare. I didn't apply my.
And what was the end result of that?
Struggle.
And then did you prepare for the third time you took it?
Yeah.
And what happened after that?
No, I did the same thing.
Oh, you did? I was trying to make a point.
That's it.
I took it. Yeah. Well, at least you had 3 at least you seen the questions before, some of the questions before, maybe. Yeah. So preparation is key though.
But I was always good on the writing part. It give me a prompt. I used to write, man. I used to be like, excuse me, I need another page. I used to write everything. Like everything I used to write. Got to that math and the other stuff. That was confusing. We mixing shapes and numbers.
Yeah.
I count money.
Yeah. Hey, chill out.
Money.
Yeah, I mean, I can agree with that. I was never really a good test taker, myself. That was my problem. Um, all the questions started to look alike after 5 minutes of reading the same. Well, you know what I'm saying? Like for me, that was difficult. You give me a map out, I'll solve it any day of the week. That's my strong suit. What sacrifices have people not seen behind the scenes?
Oh, me just genuinely loving and caring for people.
Yeah.
They see it, but they don't really know how. If you know Tim, you know Tim, bro. Like, Tim will be shooting a jump shot and be like, Jordan, what? Or he said something wild. Like, bro, I literally loved everybody, bro. And it just be, I don't know, that question.
Yeah. Thanks question. I mean,
That was a hard one.
yeah, that's a tough question, right? But do you still feel as though that you could love people?
No, it's hard to, bro. But at the same time,
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
we socially inactive
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. And why do you think that is?
because social media has taken over.
Social media has. I would agree with that. Also, one thing that I've actually talked about a lot on Instagram. And there was one post, I forget who I forget the lady's name who posted it, but she was talking about how, just the way of life, like everything's just so busy now. Because you only have time, especially if you have a kid. You don't have time to call nobody, check in on nobody. I mean, you do, but then by the time you get home, it's like, you super tired or whatever. You don't really want to mess with nobody. Talking about leadership and team impact. What role do you play in keeping teammates motivated and involved?
Just setting an example. Setting a standard, setting an example. Being that coach on and off the court. Because like I said, playing point guard, you have to be an extension. But basically, having guys that study all, having guys that workouts, having guys that meetings, having guys that film, just making sure everybody is accountable.
What does being a team first player mean to you?
I went number 2, so I never think about being number 1.
Yeah,
So team first is always, that's a must.
yeah,
Without a team, we have nothing,
for sure.
nothing at all.
During training, for example, for my company, Richmond Therapeutic Health Services, during training, I always give the same example of the best teams always know, like, talking about 1 through 5. The point guard knows where the 5's supposed to be on the court. The 4-man supposed to know where the 2 guard supposed to be on the court. So when you're running the play, that way it leaves nobody out, and that's what makes a good team. And so I only mention this because, again, I think team goes further than just basketball, just in regular life. If at my company, if the director knows what the CEO supposed to be doing, the CEO supposed to know what the QMHP is supposed to be doing,
Right.
then everything gonna run smoothly.
Full circle.
Yeah, full circle. Yeah. So, uh, talking about getting into the whole ABA aspect of things, which is what I really wanted to talk about. What was the hardest thing playing in that league?
To be honest, I was just happy to be able to play basketball again.
Yeah.
Yeah. The ABA tryouts was my first time ever picking up a basketball again.
Since what?
After college, I tore my ACL.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I tore my ACL. My senior year, I had to get surgery on my ACL.
Okay.
So I had my hand injury, and then my senior year, I tore my ACL towards the end of the year, and I still played on a torn ACL. But when I say that was my ABA was my first time stepping back on the court again after tearing my ACL.
Okay. So how much time did it take for you to get back from tearing your ACL?
6 months.
6 months?
6, 7 months. 7 months fully recovered. The 7th month, I was playing at ABA trials.
What year did you come on?
I forgot it was a year Adrian Peterson. So it was close to that year when he tore his ACL. But that was my motivation.
You got that. I remember you playing for Richmond Elite, and you were one of the point guards I actually like playing with, and it wasn't because you too. Yeah, no doubt. And it wasn't because of anything other than the fact that you understood the game. It's a difference between, I played with plenty of point guards. A lot of point guards come down the court and just start shooting the shit. That's not basketball. What basketball is, especially when we're playing with a decent big man, you work inside out. That's what frees up your shots, on the perimeter. And then just being vocal on the court, and you're one of the players who, I could see it in you. It's not about size. It's not about this or that. It's about what's in here, the heart. And I've always noticed that about you, which is why I think we've always connected, because I'm like that too. I don't care how big you are, or how much chop your ass down.
Right, right, right. So it's always been like, get out there. And goes again, if this to go forward about what you were saying. I just wanted to have fun. And like being a point guard, you want everybody else to have fun.
Right.
So you're not gonna come down and shoot the ball every play. Right. That's not fun. That's not fun. As a point guard, you like getting assists. You like to pass the ball to somebody. Bro, I'm telling you. Ask CJ. CJ Wiggins, one of my closest friends. CJ alone. Like when you pass the ball to somebody and watch them shoot a shot and watch them go through the net, that's the best feeling ever.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah. Because people forget that, we ain't out there playing one-on-one. We out there playing 5-on-5.
5 on
You know what I'm saying? Well, if my teammate scored, then I scored, for real. If we win, we all win. So I think, again, I like to harp on the team aspect of things, because people think, even in today's NBA, you see dudes one out there trying to do it by themselves. You just can't do that. But that's what makes OKC so good, because everybody working together. What goals are you chasing next? On the court or off the court?
off the court. I want to own my own youth facility. For children in my community. To have an outlet to for either after school or during school. If I'm blessed enough to get the opportunity to have a facility where I can have a school, but just a facility where youth can go and they can actually like work out. And when I say work out, I mean like train their bodies to be healthy, train their minds to be healthy. So that when so that they're excuse so that they are successful in the long run. Those are my future plans, my future dreams. I've always had that dream and aspiration since I stepped in Carmelo Anthony's youth center. He had a youth center plan in Baltimore for Team Richmond, the AAU. When I stepped in that gym and I saw Carmelo Anthony's youth center, it immediately made me like want to have my own, because walking around Baltimore is like walking around Richmond. And when you see it, it's like, dang, like Carmelo Anthony has this, like, hey, one day I want something like this. As I got older, I realized the aspect of the ball gonna stop bouncing one day. No, not so next, but not for the next generation. Right. So I always wanted to pass that down.
Yeah. Yeah, you're 100% correct. And as far as the basketball eventually stopping, your body deteriorates over time. I don't think people understand the grind of basketball. Over time, I'm like an old man now. It's because I've constantly, at nighttime I'd be hurting.
I'm not old, bro. I'm not. I always say that. Do you remember I begged you to play an extra year?
Yeah, I know, and I came back.
You did.
I came back. So, no, are you talking about after COVID?
It probably was after.
One of those. If you talking about after COVID, nah, but bro, I was like, I begged you to play. Yeah. I mean, my thing is, again, the whole concept of taking care of your body, moving your body, and stuff like that. We are older than your average person as far as body, because all that pounding, all that, you break it, having a wrist issue, or whatever the case may be. I know that it didn't come from basketball, but we take a lot of heat, unfortunately, and it's always important to definitely take care of that body. Where do you see your future with basketball, like regarding basketball?
Not coaching, I'll forever be around basketball. But if not coaching, I'll forever train.
Yeah.
Always be a trainer. Always be just a form of a coach to any child that needs help with anything in life.
Yeah. Okay. Like you earlier, you talked a little bit about, what you want to do, right? Where you see yourself in the future. And I think this goes hand in hand with what you're talking about, like coaching, and that derived from Carmelo. Excuse me. And fun fact that I do want to mention, I met Carmelo for the first time in what was that? Damn. Oh, Las Vegas. I was in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And Sedar, you remember Sedar Ray, reputed very elite.
Yeah.
Chris Evans,
Yeah.
all those guys, Duval Maxwell.
Doobie, yeah, dude. Hey, Doobie. Yeah. Doobie, oh, no, here it is. I love you, my dog.
Yeah. Yeah, Doobie is the one of the goats of Richmond, or not Richmond, but Petersburg.
The A1. Only dudes I know can scratch his knees standing straight up.
Yep. Very long arms. But yeah, we were in Las Vegas, and Carmelo was there with his kids, and his kids was only like 1 year old at the time. Lala was there; they were still together. That's how long ago that was. That was. I just thought I'd mention that. But speaking of,
Yo, one day, one game, I was in Richmond. It was an AU tournament, and I was rebounding for Cayenne. And now he's in college. He was a little kid.
yeah, is that you find Cayenne? Oh yeah.
But I was rebounding for him one day, bro. It was a kid. I'm like, bro, he can actually shoot. For now, bro, that kid got potential to be. Is Syracuse an ACC?
There's the ACC.
He has potential to be ACC.
Yeah, well, I saw a couple clips the other day of him on the internet. He was snapping. He was going crazy. He's straight up. Yeah, I saw him. To put this into perspective here, I saw him when they were pushing him. Like him and Lala, they were pushing him in the little baby. Man, that's great. Get music raised.
I'm fly.
They do.
That's the way you get old, boy.
Yeah, no. Hey, look, I told you I am getting over. Hey, I feel it, dog. You come to my house late at night, I'm in there like trying to get up. I can't move, you know. But that's what keeps me young though. I go to that gym every day. You know, that's some early in the day, man. Gotta get it up. The untold truth moment. What message do you want young Richmond athletes to hear?
Nothing happens overnight. You gotta focus, limit distractions at all times. Work hard as you can. Be unstoppable. Like, be a cancer to your team, a positive cancer. When I say be a cancer, I mean spread something positive. Don't spread anything negative. But if you're a youngin' growing up, coming up, and just keep your mind right and stay focused, stay on your path. If you want something, go get it. Put the work in, put the effort in, put the time in, and everything else will pay off. That's not everything I have to say to any youth, any youngins coming up now. Do what you're supposed to do. Stay focused, stay locked in, and really like set goals. Set goals early. Set goals at an early age. And when I say set goals, I mean set goals that you want to obtain. So that the dream is really reality.
Yeah, real goals. You know, because people say, "Oh yeah, I wanna wake up and be LeBron James." Don't even jump, but don't do nothing about it. You know, and I'm glad you said that because obviously there's only one. LeBron is 1-on-1, right? A lot of NBA players are 1-on-1, not just LeBron. That's it. Salute to any NBA player, man. Salute to all the hoopers overseas. When that's about, say, look, salute to everybody. All love, sure. But like, in order to get there, you still got to work. You know, that's what you're getting at here. So you can never teach yourself, nah. You know, like the dudes didn't get there for no reason. They put in that work.
Right.
You know, that work ethic, that work part. I'm so on that, you know.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't have anything that I have now unless I put boy effort, right? You know.
And it makes you feel better. Once you do it, you actually see it, you progress.
If you could speak to your younger self, what would you say?
Control my attitude.
Control your attitude. Why you say that?
I learned that profession playing in the ABA. You're a grown adult. The high school, you can walk on the court to punch somebody in the face and get away with it. In the ABA, you can't do stuff like that.
People growing. I mean, you can do that. You can. You might get your ass beat.
Yeah, you can. Grown though. Like you're grown though. You know what I'm saying? You grown.
And then playing in different cities. Somebody might go outside. You know, somebody might go outside and, you know, somebody go missing. Right. You know. So yeah, definitely. And I agree with that because I actually speak about that in my you know, in the season 1, talking about how I grew up. I had a lot of anger built up inside. I had a lot of untapped danger. I just wanted to, like the Hawk. That's why I got the Hawk tattooed on my back. Because once I go there, it's almost like you can't bring me back. And so I had to control. I had to, like you said, control there. The emotions. Because once the emotions start going, it's like basketball go out the window at that point. Right? You're not playing basketball at that point. You're just trying to get a lick. Oh, he just elbowed me? Oh, I bet. Say less. You know? But that's very important. Controlling your emotions, your behaviors, especially in between the lines. And I try to apply that to life. It's not just in between the lines, it's off the court too.
Correct.
And last question here. And you kind of talked about untold truth earlier, but what is one untold truth you would like to share with the viewers that pertain to your journey so far in life?
Yeah, my wrist. That was my untold truth, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. This tragic injury on my arm, my wrist, really set me back. That was the only really like untold that most people don't really know about me. Cause most people ask like, why you not playing? Why you not coaching?
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to give the answer like, God has this plan for everybody else. It's hard to give that answer initially to somebody because they'll think like, dang, like he coming off aggressive, he coming off, nah, but that's just the actual reality of what I'm trying to tell you.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. That's the only thing, the untold truth that I would like tell someone that doesn't really know me for who I am. Doesn't know Timothy.
Right.
I know.
Yeah. Well, look, man, appreciate you coming on today.
That's who, bro.
Yeah, yes, sir. I'm on there. Hopefully, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next time. The whole point of this is to talk about positivity, encourage others to be better, and then at the same time, just love each other, love everyone within your community. And if you have an opportunity to reach someone, why not?
Shout out Untold Truth.
Shout out to the Untold Truth.
My boy Brain.